Hey, what's up? Oh my god, we were on mute for a split second, but we're good. Hey, what's up? We did it. We are every time. I know, man. It's fine. I believe in the automation. The automation knows what it's doing. My name is Ken. I'm joined here with my jolly band of adventurers. You can follow them on their socials below. We have Ryan, Kian, Rory, Busy, Richard, and John right here below me. Where he belongs. No, I'm just kidding.
John's doing what to?
Anyways, we have Rory for the recap. We'll jump straight into it and we'll get things going so we can have an action-packed night. Rory,
all right then. Previously on the Wandering Isles, Ayame is blindsided by an unknown attacker, leaving her in dire need of healing. Assisted by Eos, she heads down to the medical ward. Meanwhile, Adriana receives a mysterious leather-bound book from Remington and uses dark powers to create a strange, mysterious white crow with a broken wing. However, Wesson is not too happy with his new neighbor. Howdy, neighbor. Dash confronts Remington about the attack on Ayame, sparking a chain of events that sees Boreal move to safety. Or so he thinks. Dr. Harrow is expelled from the island with great haste. And a word is sent to the Crisis Response Unit on high alert. Slate and Eos dive deep into the secrets of the gods, with Slate unlocking the hidden truth of his past. His name, Elias Holt. But the ancient book he carries has a name too, Vathros, and it demands the deadly price of sweet, succulent death. As night falls, dreams become nightmares. Eos sees Wesson fading into the grip of winter, while Wesson finds himself drawn to Eos' side for a moment of peace beneath the stars with a sweet cup of tea. But in the shadows, Hatsu realizes that the threat to Ayame is far from over. The challenges are just beginning, and danger lurks both within and beyond the group. Don't miss what's next on The Wandering Isles.
Nice.
I think Busy's on a delay, not just the stream.
Yeah. Nice. That was a good recap. All right, we'll move in. We'll join Senior Hatsu. I believe that's his name. Senior Toshitsugu. We will join him for where we left off with Ayame and his promise of death upon his enemies. Hello, Mr. Hatsu.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sorry, I'm still meditating. Don't disturb.
She just waits for another 3 hours. We pick up where we left off. Like, Ayame is quite worried that the potential entity that struck her is still here. She's worried that the school in some way is not safe, and she's even more worried that something could actually catch her off guard, because it has been a long time since that could happen.
Well, we should always remember that when we learned our lessons at home, you can only improve if you learn something new that you didn't expect it, right?
That brings her peace. You can see it on her face.
So don't worry about somebody who was able to surprise you. You should worry if everybody can at some point. But as long as you thrive for the best version of you, you will always be on the edge of something great.
She smiles, and she's not one to be over emotional. But because you know her so well, this would be her version of over emotional. Like, yeah. She stands up, but she's still a bit wobbly, you know?
He also stands up, and he would grab her forearm, her right forearm, so that she could grab his right forearm. And he would look her deep in the eyes, and he would say, "Remember, we are units for a reason. I know I can rely on you when I get surprised." And we should try to rely on the people that we met here to form a unit that is capable of hunting these things down. You don't have to burden it on your shoulders alone. And you shouldn't.
I will get some rest. And then at dusk, I will go and I will investigate the hut and the area around this stuff and see if I can find any more information.
I guess the others might be interested to do the same, so we should go from there, I think. Maybe we can find some tracks to track it down.
Is it better to do it now or this evening?
The chain is only as strong as its weakest part. So we should all rest, I guess.
Dash is gonna need a lot of rest. I'm really fond of just Keaton's face there.
Harsh.
But fair.
He would turn to Boreal as well. And he would say, you know, my home is your home as well, so feel free to stay here, but you have to promise me that you won't leave this room unless you feel there is something not right.
I understand how he was sent away, though I know how to do it. But I do worry that doing it this way has led to unforeseen circumstances and consequences. If there truly is some entity capable of sneaking and lurking the way that I do, and I've never once seen it, and now it lives here without a master, I don't know how long until it starts getting bored and causing trouble. Or if it simply just left, went away, and maybe it was just something she created that's temporary. I don't know.
Well, we should worry if they would flat out attack without any commands. That's not what I think is happening. I think the first ones that we attacked were experiments that just reacted to protect themselves. The one that attacked Ayame is different. But I don't think it will follow without any commands, but commands might have been given. We don't know. And even if we would know, we couldn't change because we don't know where it is, right? So I think we should rest, get the information out, go in as a force, as a team, and try to deal with it that way. Because that thing, I don't know how intelligent it is, might want us to be in one by one.
Clever. Never split the party. I understand.
It's a lot of Apex Legends lore, I can tell you that.
Ayame runs in, tries to kill it, gets downed immediately, starts calling for help and disconnects. Yeah,
and then blames you.
We've been third partied. We've been third partied.
Third partied, yeah. Yeah, it's... She agrees, so she'll go get some rest so that she can be more herself when the time comes.
So, Hatsu would pretty much leave Boreal there.
Don't have super much of a choice. Boreal can't leave this common area, but he can move around between the rooms of where you are. He just can't leave the dorms themselves. So he's in an extra wing, pun intended, of your dorm, but he's part of the dormitory system with all of you. So technically your responsibility, but can interact with the others as well if needs be.
Hatsu's hesitant for a second, and he looks at Boreal, and he decides to give him something. He just turns, put his hand in his clothes, and it's kind of like someone would like browse through the handbag, whatever, to search for keys or something.
Hatsu has a handbag confirmed. Yep.
He has something wrapped in cloth, and he
Pepper spray.
he gives it to Boreal, and it is the last piece of his mother's bread.
Oh. Boreal's eyes go even bigger somehow. And he looks into your face. He looks into your face and he's just overwhelmed with emotions. He is like, yeah, it's a big deal. He really, really appreciates the gesture. He doesn't question where it came from. He doesn't care. He just smells it. He doesn't even bite into it. He wants that smell, that smell of home. 6 a.m. in your house, this is what it smells like every day, so.
I will be back soon, Boreal. And he heads off to the main area to try and catch everyone to bring them on the same page, that they will basically meet up at dusk.
You head down to Madriana and she's asleep, and you look over and Weston is just sitting there glaring at the tree non-stop, just 100% focused at the tree.
Yeah, and I would say in between he would do his training, but he wouldn't just do it in his room as usual. You would see him doing training, but combine it with kind of challenges on the way. So he would do a part of the way in handstands. He would do part of the way trying to be not seen. He would do part of the way doing stuff. And as he would go around to try to find everybody to basically give the word out that they will meet up and they will investigate this, he would arrive at Westland's place, but by the time that he's there, he would have unlocked something new, that a new sensation that he tries to focus on and emphasize and give it a contour. So when Wes would see him at some point, he would have like a blackish outline, if that makes sense. It's like if you would have like a white font on a white background, and you would put like a black outline.
Good example. Yeah.
Outside the
Drop
font.
shadow.
So that's what that's what he would look like. He would have like a black contour that is a little bit pulsating.
Nice.
While he's focusing on that new aspect of him.
I'll come back to that in a moment. Westland and Eos are still together looking at the stars, so we'll pick up with Hatsu and Westland when Westland returns home. If he can get down the 50 flights of stairs that he had to climb.
That was unexpected. Fucking stairs. Not accessible.
It's always easy to go down. You just roll.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Eos, you're sitting there in the grass, or laying down, whichever, and you look towards Westland, who's probably laying down and looking at the stars.
Breathing heavy.
Yeah. I don't know if there's something that you guys want to engage with or even talk about before Westland leaves, but it's a serene moment. It's a small, quiet evening. You can hear birds, though you can't see them. You can hear sounds of the wind, though you don't feel it. It's not real, but it is. in this moment it feels real to you.
What do you see, Wilson?
An unknown sky. Is this your sky?
I think it is. It's the sky that I look up at in the silence of the night when I can walk outside freely. This is what I see when I'm home.
I'm told the sky is the same no matter where you are. As long as the clouds are clear. I didn't mean to invade. That was... I'm not sure how that happened.
You're welcome, Wilson. Anytime you want, drop in.
Don't know if that's how that works.
You did it once.
It's not how it... Anyway. I should go.
Let me ask you one more question before you go.
Yes.
When you were young, were the stars as they are now, or were they different?
Looking at the stars, do I recognize this, these constellations? I don't know. What do you think, Ken?
Oh, they would have been very different.
Maybe different.
I don't know how much Westland would know about that, but like, given like the path that Westland has been on and what I'm aware of his lineage, I would imagine that he has seen many different stars across his path and his journey. So I think it's a safe bet to say that it would be different.
He shakes his head. I don't know. Are these the same as they are outside here in the Crescent Moon?
No.
I wouldn't be able to tell you what it's supposed to look like.
To be fair, one additional feature of this would be that there's probably, forgive me, Rory, if this is incorrect, but there'd probably be a singular moon here, not two, where there normally is two outside.
Exactly. This is what Eos thinks home looks like.
That would be probably a different, yeah, that'll probably be a giveaway that it's different.
That is strange. Where is the other moon?
That moon only shows up when it's my birthday.
That's strange.
Ooh, you've been around for a while. You've probably read books. Did you ever read the one about the moon being a dragon's egg?
I have only read books since arriving in this dream. It is a strange sensation.
Oh. The way you read books is amazing to me. You feel them. Your tattoo somehow grasp the words and the letters, and how?
That's how people read. They open the book and then they look at it and then they touch it. Some people move their fingers over the words. I don't know how that works. We didn't have these at home.
Oh.
No one had these at home. The first time I've ever seen these are here. No. First time I saw these was at at her house in that place with all the buildings and people and the boats many weeks ago.
Do you like boats?
Boats are important. They are the vessel through which we harvest food from the sea. And they are important because they are the vessels that cleanse the land of the witch.
You also ask when he says which.
Which?
What?
Who?
Who? How? By on the boat. Yep. Yeah, no, they are the vessels that they are important. They brought Gareth down the waters to protect the people.
Gareth?
Gareth? Do you not know the story of Gareth?
No, this is new to me.
He came with his men. They fought off dark forces, and they kept the people safe. His face, his markings, the lines of his tribe are drawn on everything of my people in the villages, on the wood cross beams that support the roofs.
Wow. You gave me a book a while ago was about Reese and Bran and other people too, but there was no mention of Gareth in that.
He was before.
Wow.
He was before Bran?
To Wise.
Bran is my brother.
What? Right. Give me a second. I remember when I get up, I gotta annotate the book. I gotta take notes. You have a whole family?
I have a family. Were they in that book?
A couple of names. Rowan, Reese, Bran. Not much else, no.
I did not read that book. I didn't understand what those were until later. My brother's name is in that.
Do you miss him?
I have not seen him in a long time. When I wake up, though, I will see him again.
Good. How long has it been?
A long time.
How many seasons?
Too many to count. There are no cycles of seasons in these dreams. Just seasons.
I'm telling you
This is
this.
I would say this is the first that had any progress, but summer was missing from the sequence. So almost, but not quite. Almost, but not quite.
You have your cycles of seasons. I've had a cycle of that accursed moon. It marks the day of my birth, but it scares me. I dream of the stars. I dream someday I will face it.
The moon?
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes I want to touch it. It's too far.
My grandfather once said that you can't fight the sun. I guess he's right, because you can't touch it, but it can touch you.
I touched his dash. He got sunburn on his neck.
He should keep his shirt on.
Absolutely.
Temptation to just drop MC Hammer right here.
There was a weird moon a few weeks ago.
Boreal's moon?
Do some people have their own moon?
I think so. The moon comes and goes, but its shape and its color change. When the moon is bright and white, I can't sleep. When the moon is crescent or in shadow, it's easier to sleep. But when it's red, sometimes I can't remember.
It was red then. Does everyone have a moon?
I believe so. I haven't looked too much into it. Everyone has a star, though. Some take shapes of lions and goats, others take shapes of items.
I would very like to have my own star.
Point
That
one
would
was.
be. These stars aren't real.
True. But the next time you and I are out in the forest at night, point one out. I'll write it down.
Maybe it belongs to someone else.
Who's to say?
Stealing is bad.
This is very true.
I should go.
A cup for the road?
No. I feel like this tea moves through me faster than normal for some reason.
The flow of time is like the flow of a river. It slows and goes and as fast as it comes.
Mm.
I appreciate you for joining me.
Can you make the stairs shorter, please?
I'll ask the thing to do it, yeah. Do you like spiral stairs or straight stairs?
Less stairs.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
You look over and there's just a door, no stairs.
And with great pain and as many old man noises as possible, he will stand and wobble a bit and shuffle as with as much dignity as possible out the door.
Is will keep distance but follow.
Chicken just runs ahead.
I don't think that fox will ever get old. I'll never understand.
If you're heading home, you slowly make your way through the dorms, down the stairs, towards the door. Takes a bit of time, and then up the beach towards yours and Amadriana's home.
No. Mine and the usurper's home.
And as you approach your home, that's when you would see the aura of Hatsu.
Man, I need to start an HOA, like, real fast.
Put up some fences.
I know, right? Clearly some signs.
Get her off my turf.
There's just a big sign just as you enter through the trees that says Wesley and Amadriana, left turn for one, right turn for the other. It's just arrows pointing towards our different
The
places.
whole place is signposted, and there's a nice path carved out now.
Oh man, I need to learn Fireball. Man.
Just speak to the plants and ask them to move.
There's fucking wind chimes hanging from almost every tree on the way down to both our houses. Yeah,
Oh,
they're
man.
pipe ones though. They're not metal. They're wooden, like pan pipe type ones.
Oh, yeah, this is even worse. The ones you get from Pier 1, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, God. Cheaply made, but they cost a fortune. Yeah, so he'll be entering towards that area with a deep scowl.
Chicken
Writing a
has roast
checklist in his
chicken.
mind. Mm.
Chicken is running in with the roast chicken, sits down by the hole that you've made and just starts tearing into it.
and he will keep a very strong distance between himself and Hatsu.
Oh, you mean Hatsu the witch?
Hatsu the monster.
Oh, the monster. Sorry, I'm still.
They're worse than witches.
Vampires are monsters in this game.
It's true. Dragons, basilisks. Anything that goes bump in the night.
Vampires are very misunderstood.
Are they? I don't know.
I like
I
vampires.
can't wait for the day when Westland finds out he's the biggest monster running on the fucking planet, and he just kills himself.
It's probably true.
I'm gonna drown myself. Give me more weight.
Spoilers. Yeah.
So as Hatsu would recognize that Westland is kind of like making a beeline around him to take the the other gate towards his facility, he moves to the hole where Chicken is.
Chicken scoots back with the roast chicken a little bit.
He kind of goes down on his knees. And he does a little prayer. And after that, he looks at Chicken and he bows down like a little bit and he says, "Domo arigatou gozaimasu for keeping an eye on him. You know how rough it has been for him. Please help him to find a path in this dream."
Your beautiful prayer is serenaded by the sound of chicken going onto the roast chicken that they have, but it is message received.
And he moves on and knocks at the tree where he, following the signs, might find Madriana.
Oh, it's not far. That tree's been encroaching closer and closer.
It's actually right next to the hole.
I imagine like every night the tree just moves like an inch.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Closer.
It's either that or it's slowly getting bigger, so it looks like it's getting closer.
Oh, both are awful. Both. Have you read the HOA guidelines? I think you need to review your paperwork, sir.
Homeowners Association just kicking ass.
Ugh.
They don't seem to have a problem with it.
Who?
Madriana filed a registration to be the Homeowners Association.
Yeah. I was the only one on the council, so you know
only nominated
I make all the
themselves,
decisions. Exactly, yeah. I'm a self-made president of this place.
My first point of order is to destroy these trees. They're blocking the view to the beach. It's just fucking ripped out.
Oh my
How can I
god.
see the sky with all these trees around?
Race threat. It's happening. It's happening.
There is a door, but it's never shut. So you're welcome to walk in whenever you want.
He would knock. He wouldn't just enter.
Come in, Hatsu.
He opens the door, and instead of just walking in, he would turn on the last step and slowly puts off his shoes, and then he would move in.
So as he walks in, what he'll see is this. It's a cylindrical. It's almost as if the tree is literally just the shell of the tree, but the inside is of this lovely room. There is a doorway you'd be able to see, which is to a side room, which you could probably see from, if you moved around the room at all, you'd see from the angle that it was obviously a bedroom. Probably, a bathroom and stuff that way as well. But in this circular room, there is a circular couch. And within the circular couch,
Does it
in the
turn?
middle, does now. It can do, yeah. Think Highlander. You know the couch he has in Highlander. where it's like sunk into the ground a little bit and it's round and stuff. And in the center is a coffee table, and on the coffee table there is a symbol of what a Magiana would associate with each person of the group. Around as well, there is a really around the edge there's a really fancy like tea decanter set that's ready to go at any time, has everything it needs. The only thing it doesn't have is any way to actually heat it up. On the other side there would be an area that's available to be messy, as she knows that Slate kind of likes to leave a destructive wake. It can grow to size of a minotaur if it needs to. It's a big enough area that it can withstand it. There is also another spot that's just completely blank apart from a mirror, which is obviously for Dash. There is no place specifically for Weslin, but instead what's happened is from outside into the doorway of the tree and around the tree is all the vines and leaves and everything that's grown up around, as if nature's taken over it within the inside itself as well. And then the last thing you'll see is a section with the mat on the ground that she would, like, you know, the bamboo mat sort of thing that she would know Hatsu would use, as well as a rack for your shoes, knowing that that would be how you would place them. What's the matter, Hatsu? Anything I can help with?
He bows down a little bit and says, well, I came here to spread the word that team has to meet at dusk to further investigate the left behind beast that might lurk around in the woods where Dr. Harrow has left it. And I was also trying to thank you that you try to keep an eye on Weslin. He is still, let's say, distant, because he quite doesn't understand in which type of reality he is in. And I'm pretty sure he might consider that he's in a bad dream.
I've certainly made attempts to show him that that's not the case. However, I don't think he's too keen on me moving in here, but I don't know. I like to think some part of him might get used to it.
There's a tale that my grandma once told me. There was a man in a town, and he got notice through powers that he didn't understand that he will die at this day. So he started running and running and running. At some point, he found a horse. He drilled the horse towards the next big city. And as he arrived at a guest house late at night, struggling with pain and exhaustion, there was a creature at the bar staring at him. His heart did beat hard, because he recognized it was death that was waiting for him. He was shocked and surprised, and he said, well, you got me, I'm willing to go. But just explain me one thing before you take me. How did you get so fast from my home place to here? And he was like, well, as I got notice that I have to pick you up today, and I saw the location where I shall pick you up, I couldn't believe, because I would have bet that you will never make it here in time. And he smiled and took him away. What I'm trying to say is, if you on the run from powers you don't understand for a long, long time, and you only have to self to rely on, you will need time to understand that you're not alone anymore, I guess. And I'm proud that you try to be that link to this world for him.
Well, I must say, Hatsu, I'm glad you clarified, because for a moment there I thought you were trying to tell me I was death.
Or am I?
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to smile, but like awkward, because he doesn't understand the concept that well.
The
He's
mask
like,
just barely moves.
under the
Yeah.
mask, like.
The eyes open slightly.
Yeah.
Okay. It's partially our fault that he feels this way. So I feel it's partially our burden to make sure that he also is well looked after. I'm giving him his space, although as much as he doesn't want me here. But, yeah. We do what we can. Also, if we're talking about thank yous, I'm not quite sure why, but thank you for taking the burden of those two gentlemen when it came to Remington.
Well, it was not your fault that they were there in the first place, so why should I leave you with that burden? It's not yours.
True, but I'm sure things could have been worked out in a much different way. I acted possibly too quickly, but I just wasn't willing to give them the opportunity to do something.
He puts his right hand on her left shoulder, like gently, not forcing. He's trying to like sense how much is okay for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks Adriana deep in the eyes, really deep. And he goes, Amy, never think like that. Your quick decision saved lives. You shouldn't regret it. You should be proud of yourself. And every time I see you make decisions like that, I will give my life to save you from the consequences that you might suffer. Because that is my part to do. And then he takes her hands and slowly he guides her hands towards the side of his face, so you could feel like ears and face. Just feel, not see.
Mm.
And he says to her, you're not the only one that had to hide their true self for reasons the world doesn't understand. So be sure you're not alone with this.
At this
I'm
point,
gonna
call
whisper what
for-
she feels, okay?
Instead, if it's okay, what I'll do is I'll call for headphones off. So I'll say,
Okay.
everybody except Adriana and Hatsu. You guys keep yours on. Everyone else, off with your heads.
So what you feel is like the cloth that he uses as a mask, and which is basically around his head. It's like a very fine, like almost silica kind of material. And you would smell something that would, if you would know, would be the smell of the bread that was made in his home place. But what you feel is you at the side of his head, you don't feel normal ears. You would feel ears that would more like feel like the ones from you would see from Eos, if that makes sense. But from the tellings and from Ayame and things that you've picked up, you would know that nobody of his clan has features like that.
Gotcha. And just for DM clarification, we've seen Eos. These would be ears typical of an elf or an elf variant of some sort.
Yeah, pointed.
Okay. Stupid question. But would she hear, feel like stubble? Would there be, is the face gaunt? Is it muscular? Is it like, what's the facial structure?
The face would be I don't know to which degree you could define a muscular face, but let's say his face structure like when we're talking about athletics, or if he's more like chubby, his face would like relate to his condition and body form and stuff like that. It would feel like a normal humanoid face.
Right.
Not specifically like a very pointy chin or something.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. It
It's
would
not
feel
like
regular.
chiseled bones or anything.
No.
Right, gotcha.
You would feel
He's not-
like
he's
a
not
regular
Skyrim
face,
elf or anything like that. Like,
but the ears feel pointy, and the way that you are in the light and the close that you are to him, you would also recognize, because this whole part is free from the mask. You would also see oddly that in the past it appears that like a shadow would drop from his hood or something, or from the masking, but you actually see that his face color is not quite what you would consider as normal.
So
It's more like grayish, palish
okay.
kind of color.
So with her hands either side of your head, she obviously feels, she, moves her hands to feel as she's expecting you to want her to do. And then she'll just gently slip her thumbs just onto the inside and like look at you almost as if in acknowledgement of, is it okay? She's attempting to basically pull back your hood.
she just immediately dies.
No, the hood is okay, but it would be like there would be full face like balaclava kind of style.
It's
Yeah.
multiple layers of covering.
Yeah, it's multiple layers.
So I'll pull back the hood then and say, there's very, very few people in this world. In fact, I would say maybe only 3 that know my true face. But seeing as though we are being honest with each other here, I'll show you.
Oh man.
And
The moment
goes
she
like that.
tries to put her mask off, he grabs her hand and he says, "Well, I appreciate the way you want to do it, but I did swear an oath to never uncover myself, ever. I don't want you to do. I don't want you to do something that you might want to have something in return for.
That wasn't my intention. My intention is more to show trust. And she'll reach up, and you'll see as she clicks, she like kind of clicks and pulls forward the two cheek plates. And as she removes it, you'll see the outer framework that it connects to. And as she pulls it away, you'll see this almost like ghost white, real feminine, really kind of stunning, pure skin looking high elf. With, again, you'll see the pointy ears that up until her removing this, you wouldn't have seen because she tucks them in so that you could never tell. And she stands there with the white hair flowed back. I hope you understand, Hatsu. As one of only 4 people now that know my true face, I hope you understand the responsibility that takes. And surprisingly enough, despite our recent events, you're probably one of the few people I believe can be entrusted with this.
He bows down like lower that he would normally do. And he stays in this position for a few seconds. And then he comes back up, and he doesn't say thank you in a way that he would normally use. He would use another language, which is Elvish, but I can't find the thing that we use. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What was it? Was it?
It is. Lunus.
Lunus. So he says thank you in the most flourishing and beautiful way that he can imagine in Lunus.
And she responds back in what would typically be a high elf response of, "You are appreciated."
Yeah.
And then she'll take it back, and you see, as she does it, her ears almost fold in automatically as if she's trained herself to do it, where it will like pull in beside her head, and as she clicks it back on, I don't know your stats, but dependent on your passive perception, there would be a very minor kind of wince or like kind of, you know.
I'll give it to him. I'll say he's quite insightful, so I'll give it to him.
There's a very small kind of. This is uncomfortable, you can imagine, for her, but it's necessary.
And oddly enough, one of the only other people who around her that might understand how uncomfortable it is actually sharing this moment with you. So there's a nice back and forth there, you know. I'm gonna get the guys to put their headphones back on.
Yeah. So yes, anyway,
okay,
Wesley's being a bit of a bitch.
I grabbed the dead body and put him in the hole that Wesley made.
Okay.
So
I think that
Wesley's
helps
one.
me for him, but you know.
We're not there. I don't know.
That's the way.
So Hatsu would return to the door, and before he leaves, he would like turn back and say, "See you at dusk at the Harrow's place."
Okay.
Like, but with a question mark. Like,
I'll be there. By the way, before you go, this white crow just flies down from the top of the tree, unnoticed, but has been watching this whole time, and just lands on your shoulder and kind of, you know, gives a couple of nods and a bit of a caw kind of thing. This is Albie. He's my new friend.
Welcome, Albie. And he kind of bows a little bit.
I'll have him search around here as well, just in case there is any more lingering.
I know you came closer here to have an eye on West, but maybe we should suggest to use this facility, at least at the weekends, as kind of an outpost or something.
Weston sees the whole gang show up.
As you can see, I have a place set for each and every one of you.
I will suggest to the others.
And then we shall all face Weslin's wrath.
And as Hatsu kinda leaves the front garden area, without looking even at Westland's home, he just walks towards the school again and he just waves like behind him. Without even turning and looking if somebody's looking or not, he's just waving.
Madriana's table to me is like the Justice League table, but like in place of each one is like this really nice symbol for everybody except for Dash, which is just the poop emoji. We head back.
And by
to
the way, the reason I said that is because it's actually a picture I'm already working on.
Oh hell yeah, man! Come and see it. Yeah. So Hatsu makes his way around and lets everybody know, kind of, you know, from dawn till dusk. At dusk, you guys will be meeting. Anyone who wants to would be meeting at Harrow's place.
What for? Stalks into a room and heads into a room.
Just drinks and
For
snacks?
what?
Or?
What is the question?
Why must I be at Harrow's place at dusk?
Yeah, what's...
I have class. Fencing.
Not at that time.
Okay. Scribbles out the schedule. Not that time.
She continues to miss fencing class for the rest of the season.
No.
I have a question for you, Eos. If someone comes to the library and asks for a book, would you bother to stay there half an hour asking that person why that book? Are you sure about that book?
No.
What do you know about the author of that book? Have you seen the biography of the author of that book? Do you know why it's in that line of the library, that specific book?
No, Hatsu, I'm just asking why must I be at this place at dusk?
Because we have things...
Didn't mean to intrude or to be rude, but it's a fair question.
We're gonna investigate.
What?
That what is left behind.
Okay then.
I will explain detailed when everybody's there at dusk.
Okay.
And he bows like a little bit.
Is there anything anyone wants to do today on this bright glistening Monday, or are you happy to move to dusk?
I do have a question. Did I see a Madriana's crow?
Did what?
Probably not yet. Just because she hasn't really been back to the dorms and you haven't left much, like, as far as I know. So, tonight probably, though.
No, I just feel like that would be something quite new and noticeable.
Yeah,
so
it's good to know what you know. Yeah, like, it's good to know.
I'm not worried about you hitting it with an arrow, that's for sure.
How about hitting on it? So
That I'm always worried about.
Caw.
holy shit.
He just wants a white feather to go with his black one.
Well, that could be his thing. Like Lissa has the black feather, maybe he has the white feather. He just goes to Albie and just
Maybe
takes like all the
I'm
feathers.
the white feather.
Dun, dun,
And
dun,
he joined the feathers together and creates a little silver feather baby called Dashissa.
dun. Is that how it works? Is there anything else anyone wants to do today?
Eos didn't do biology.
Not yet. Year 2.
I'm just going to try and get more familiar with Albie, that's it. Until the time I need to go.
Dusk isn't super late at this time of year, so it's about 5 o'clock as dusk emerges. I don't think it's like super convenient that all of you show up at exactly the same time, but there is like you trickle in one by one.
Wait, Eos, we have to go in 5 minutes. Come on.
You can walk. I'm on my horse.
In the bedroom.
Going down the stairs like Gandalf and Minas Tirith.
Oh yeah.
Wizard is never late, nor is he early.
You'd know.
He arrives exactly when he means to.
Oh yeah. I miss Lord of the Rings.
When Dash is calling for Eos saying 5 minutes, Slate comes out of his room, obviously having been invited to the same place in the same way, and has the backpack ready with all the usual assortments protruding out the bag, etc. In places, but has his tinderbox out with the flint and the steel, etc. And these packs usually contain a cloth soaked in light oil, etc. And everything you need for a good burning and or witch hunt.
Does that smell like chloroform?
I see you smelled it before.
Dash misses the entire thing because he's unconscious.
Do you think we'll be needing all of those? Actually, scratch that. We definitely will. Fair enough. I mean, if he also has the horse, we can probably just go. She'll get there before us anyway. Yeah. Do you think Hatsu's gone? I'll go knock on Hatsu's door.
Oriel opens. Yeah?
I've given up asking questions about this place. Has Hatsu left yet?
About 3 hours ago.
That tracks. Okay. We're going down to Harrow's place. He told you. He told you. We're going. Talk to you later.
You just hear him scoffing bread as he closes the door again.
Okay, I guess we go.
You turn around, they've already left.
I'm going to go over to Eslin's, gently tap on the door.
Does he answer?
No.
Fair enough.
Are you coming with us, Wesley? I know you're in there.
Where?
The creatures that Harrow created. Supposedly there's another. If you think it can be reasoned with, if you think it can live harmoniously with us, I'd like you to try.
So you're not going to go set it on fire?
Only if its determination is to kill people. I don't wish that on it at all. I don't wish death on anything, surprisingly to you probably.
That has yet to be seen.
And yet I am here asking for your help to try and show you that.
this is an ambush on this creature, I will leave.
If it is an ambush on this creature, I will do all I can to help what you decide. That is not my intention.
He's likely very angry.
So who better to talk to him than someone that is at ease with the plants?
There has never been a moving or talking plant in a single point in time in my village. That would normally be something that would be reserved for the deep parts of the woods. Those are monsters.
Even monsters deserve a second chance.
It's always wise not to poke at the hornet's nests. If it can be spoken to, I will speak to it.
Thank you, Wesley. I shall await you outside.
I can find my way there.
As you wish. And I'll leave. Let him make his own way there.
Just for a couple of moments before I set out, I'm going to try and will her tree to move away. Just kind of like will it to move away just a couple of inches, a couple of feet. Does that work?
Comes closer.
If anything, it moves closer, yeah.
I figured that was going to be the case.
It doesn't move closer nor further. It's all a perception for Westland. But the experience that he's having is just that it's not working. Yeah.
It's not working. It's just getting closer. Goddamn kids, get off my lawn. He will begin hobbling his way through the woods around the island towards the other side of the woods where the cave is. Well, I guess where he last saw the twig blights. So I don't think he saw the cabin. I think he's heading to where the twig blights were.
Okay.
Pretty sure he wasn't there. He was there for the twigs, but not for the cave.
Yeah. So you guys all convene slowly. Dash, you sort of catch up on everybody, but you're like, you see like everybody else is there. Like Eos is on her horse, and everybody's kind of there. But yeah, Rory.
Yeah. Eos, when she dismounts Ducky, she'll whisper into Ducky's ear in Runic to head back to the stables. She'll catch up with him later.
Make sure you take that detour through the swamp.
Don't you dare! How dare!
Just for scene setting as well, Magiana would have probably stayed like probably about 100 feet back, and she's just watching through Albie's eyes as he flies around. She's trying to get used to it a bit more.
Sure.
I'll take up a position next to Madriana. I haven't seen you for longer than usual.
You can hear Dash, but you can't see him.
I've taken new residence down by Westland.
Oh, no. How's Wesleyan enjoying that?
Not so much, but I live in hope that we can bring him round. With that in mind, this isn't about eradication.
I don't really know why we're here. Hatsu said we're investigating. I assumed he meant Harrow's digs.
Popping up
To
beside you,
clarify.
Dash, Ayami leans in and she's like, yeah.
Just
And
to
on that
clarify,
occasion,
Can I help?
Madriana would see through the crow's eyes as Hatsu takes his swords out just a little bit and reflects the moon on towards the eyes of the crow.
Trying to fucking blind my crow. Cool.
Yeah, it's just a sign. I'm here.
I know.
Question: What is Madriana's face like right now? Are you facing Dash or?
She's kind of just looking into the sky.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, are you even looking at me?
And she'll turn and look at you, and what you see is actually more akin to what my art shows, in that the eyes are blue and almost a light rather than the usual pupils you would have seen.
I'm going to take a step back and take out my rapier. Madriana, what's with the eyes? The last time I saw this, people got burnt to shit.
But trust me, if I wanted that of you, Dash, it would have been done before you even left the room.
I don't think Boreal wanted it either.
True. Maybe you should try and stab me then.
You sound in control. What's going on?
Dash, just stop being an idiot.
So to confirm,
Never.
Westland's like, I want to come here on the terms that there's no threat or anything, and then you guys all have your swords out? Okay, cool.
Yeah, Dash is trying to stab a Madriana.
I'm not. I have the rapier out, and I'm just like, I'm on guard because your eyes are fucking glowing. And last time I saw that, there was a big fireball.
Yeah.
And then the crow lands on your shoulder. My eyes stop glowing. I turn and look at you and go, by the way, meet Albie and be nice.
Oh, Keen, you've now seen her bird.
Albie. Well,
Well,
you're
Albie.
magnificent
I'll
animal.
be back.
I love it. This is a beautiful bird. Oh my god. Hi,
Don't
Albie.
you dare
Can I
think about
pet
taking a
you?
feather.
I'm not taking a feather. Shush, Albie, can I pet you?
Shush.
Do an animal handling, I guess.
Okay. Where's that? All the way up there. You used to use this a lot more. That's a 15.
Say you'd get maybe one or two small strokes in before he kind of gets a bit ratty about it.
I'll just
Oh.
give him a couple of strokes. Like,
Basically
you
like my cat
are
then.
majestic. Is this... Did you... Never seen a white corvid. This is amazing.
Honestly, I conjured him. I think, yeah, Eos calls it, but I
Okay,
didn't
but
know what to expect.
right, when we're done here this evening, you have to fill me in on what's been happening, because that's new, but I am so happy that you brought this magnificent creature.
Having walked with Dash the whole way to here and standing beside them, watching this go through and hearing all this conversation, I cast message on Dash and I say, if you struck me again, I'll peck your fucking eyes out.
Best use of message ever.
I'm gonna say
My
make a
God.
deception check, but I'll give
Oh,
you
come
advantage
on.
based on certain things you have going for you.
Wow, that was poor either way. 10.
10. I'm gonna say roll inside dash, just to see if you can beat it, but
That's 13.
13. I mean, that's the worst game of rollies ever, but yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
mean,
terrible.
you know something's up, but I wouldn't say you know from where or who, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
Whichever one of you that was, do not try to speak for this magnificent creature. So you're too smart for them, aren't you, Albie?
While this is happening, Eos has her hood up, her neck scarf is up just below her nose. She's very much within herself at the moment.
And now I'm going to message the bird with message and tell it that Dash is trying to hurt Adriana. Just to see its reaction.
While that's happening, I'm going to take out my journal.
Because you're trying to keep it really calm, so I want to fluster it while you're trying to touch it and get close to it and say, "Oh, aren't you lovely?"
Music might be too epic for just fucking around with a bird. So you take out your journal?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You just start noting things in your journal, is it?
Yeah, remember the thing we discussed before?
I know, I remember. I'm just curious how much you're saying about it. No worries.
Oh, as little as possible.
I don't have the familiar stat block to know whether he would know.
It's in player characters' pets.
Oh shit! Okay.
Albie exists.
Oh, awesome. So, Slate said to Albie, Dash is trying to attack Amagiana, right?
I said trying to hurt, so not physically attack, but trying to, trying to get a rise out of the creature while it's all calm, while he's touching it and reaching over to it and telling it how amazing it is.
I won't be too mean. He just starts flapping wildly and then flies off.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'll just finish up, close my journal, and put it back in my pocket.
What was he doing with his journal? Did I notice?
You can make an active perception check. You were a little busy, but yeah, you can make an active perception check.
I have an issue in my pets. One will open, but mine won't. I know what my mod is, so I can just roll.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'll say I would be trying to
It'll be like a 13.
hide it a bit as well. So if you want like sleight of hand or something against it.
13, I'm just going to say probably not, because you're doing this incredibly sneakily. I know you, I know what you're doing, so like this is something I would say you're being very careful of. So I'll say that 13 doesn't do it. I would have said something for like up in the 17, 18, 19s range. We would have had probably a rollies and a 20, obviously it's a 20, but it's, yeah, somewhere down here, probably not so much.
Cool. Anyway, I believe we're here for business tonight, if you're all done fucking around.
Hatso appears behind Dash and asks him, "Are you ready?"
Every time. You're gonna get us in trouble one day doing that. Yes, I'm ready.
I'm waiting since hours. I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know, these guys are fucking around. I'm trying to get them moving.
In Hatsu's defense, I think it's you that's going to get us caught because you're the one that always reacts that way.
That's why I would suggest that Dash is gonna follow me and Ayame to find the tracks, because that might help to lure it out.
While I'm okay with that, last time I tried to follow Ayame, she disappeared.
She's gone.
See?
That's so you can see her. She's just slapped over to the
The camera pans again.
yeah, the camera pad, yeah.
Oh my god, she's listing lazily to the left.
Yeah.
What amazing moves this person's got.
Dash still hasn't seen the horse blinders that are on him.
I would suggest that Ayame, Dash, and I will look for tracks. And you gonna investigate the area here and her place. And if we can find a creature, I will give your new friend a sign. So would you mind to send him with us?
Of course.
Are you all okay with that? We will try to get that creature around that area so we can decide what further to do.
Hatsu, before we go any further, I have asked Weslin to join us, and I have also promised that this would be a reconciliation attempt first. I'm just asking you to allow him the time to try and speak to this creature.
As much as I would love to promise you that this creature took out Ayame without her even noticing, and that concerns me a lot.
Of course.
I say that if we can manage to make it move towards this area, and I feel like we can control it in a certain way, I'm more than happy to do that. But it might also be the case that you would just get a quick notion for help. Because what that thing did to Ayame is serious.
I start sparking the flint and I say, so you want to drive it in one direction, right?
Harry Styles is so mad right now.
Just doing the lead.
Animals are the most dangerous if they are out of the pack, out of control, out of framework, and hurt.
This is why I've asked Wesley to try and talk to it first. He might be able to drive it into a place where it can feel more at home and more at ease. That's all I ask, first of all. Shall we go?
Let's do it.
Dash. And I just slowly drift away and try and be as quick as I can.
It's not even to be quiet. He just wants you to stop talking. Yeah, you. So yeah, you say shh to Dash and then kind of drift off into the shadows. Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yes.
Then you know what I need from you, please.
I do. For whatever reason, though, I can't open my sheet. I can open a duplicate.
Did you minimize? Your duplicate's deleted, so or should be anyway. You may have to refresh, but your that duplicate.
I have a couple of times, but I'll do it again just in case.
Just in case.
I can open the pet one, but not hers. That's weird.
You might have minimized it into the background there somewhere.
In the meantime, any of us that are planning to do stealth, will we all roll while you resolve that?
Yes, please. Okay, so Dash got a 17, Slate got a 14, Madrena got a 22, Hatsu got a 19. EOC rolling or?
She still actually doesn't know why she's here. She's just sitting down looking at the sunset.
Fair. And Westland?
No,
Nope.
not being stealthy at all.
Cool.
I'm old and I am making my way through the woods. I'm trying just not to fall over.
No problem.
Question: would I have noticed Eos has kind of not reacted to anything?
I mean, she's not trying to hide it because she's not stealthy, so I would say yeah, it was pretty kind of obvious, yeah.
Cool. So I'll just kind of, as we're starting to move, Eos, maybe stick with Adriana. We're tracking and investigating Harrow's old place.
Dash, Wes is dying.
That's not where I expected this conversation to go.
She looks up at you, the hood is up, the scarf's below her nose. You can see tiny little tear going outside of her face. This isn't what I had planned for the evening at all. I'm gonna look at the sunset a while. You do you. Dash away.
Okay, well, Weslin's on the way. And I'll carry on.
It's noteworthy that Chicken rarely leaves Westland's side at this point. Constantly beside him. Alright, so those of you who are active in this, what are you doing?
Looking for tracks.
That would be survival, so anyone proficient in survival can do this. Be an individual roll. Anyone?
I'm not looking to do it that way.
I mean, I mean, the thing is, I think Ayame and Hatsu following and searching for tracks where Ayame got attacked from that thing.
Still survival, but that's fine.
Mhm.
What were
I'm
you gonna
just telling. I think the other group was more looking around the facility
Gotcha.
for stuff.
And Rhino, what were you about to say, pal?
I was gonna say I'm not looking for tracks and stuff. I'm looking for, like Busy just said, I'm looking around the facility, seeing if there's any like telltale signs of something being here, or like scratch marks, bust through the wall, that kind of stuff.
Cool. With that in
While
mind,
they're-
thank you. Go ahead.
While they're doing that, I have my backpack on the front of myself, and I'm not doing great on the stealth because I'm not really looking where I'm going, because I keep looking in the bag and taking things out and shaking them and putting them back in and reaching into the bag. So I'm just kind of following everybody, doing a little bit of stealth, but not doing it great because I'm more interested in what's in my bag.
Why does he keep blowing into the horn? Yeah, no, absolutely.
I can give you a survival check. I'm not proficient, but I can give it to you anyway.
Okay. No, and with more information, it's a little bit easier. With vague information, I'll make the things harder. So that's just usually how it works. But this is a bit easier. So, okay. Ayame and Hatsu. Ayame is going to give Hatsu the help action on this. So, Hatsu, you will be doing the survival check for those marks. Madriana, I'll come back to you actually in 1 second. Dash, you do survival as well, and if Slate's helping you, then one of you can have advantage, or both of you can roll, up to you. Madriana, can you tell me again what it was you were doing? Sorry.
So I'm not looking for tracks, I'm looking for damage, I'm looking for pieces of this thing. I'm not actually looking for where it's been, I'm looking for it.
Investigation then for me, and if I don't recall correctly, what does your bird do? Does your bird give you I can't remember if your bird has that action or not.
If you do it through the bird, you get advantage on
No. That's an owl. He's not an owl, so.
Oh, sorry.
You have mimicry and a beak attack with this one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Argus was a special breed. I missed Argus the owl. That was good. Yeah.
Right now,
sure.
I'm not looking through LB though. This is me.
No. I know, but if what I was going to say was that sometimes they have advantage on perception checks or investigation checks, or not investigation usually, but like different types of checks that certain familiars can help you with. And if it was one of the ones that was familiar, I was going to give you some sort of advantage on it. But
gotcha.
While the marching order's going the way it is, with Ayame and Hatsu at the front, and Dash behind doing different things, and I'm sort of there, and then Madriana's beside me. I didn't assist with the survival, but I was going to say I am proficient in investigation, and if any of this was articulated or even openly obvious, just because I have a curiosity and I'm good at it, I think I would assist Madriana just while I'm rooting through my
this
bag.
time. But what I would encourage from my players in future is that you guys, if you intend to have people help you, you make it known what you're doing. We do a lot of heavy RP in this campaign, so there's no reason not to engage with that part of it. But you can do it this time. Absolutely, that's absolutely fine.
Okay, so I'll roll again then.
No worries.
I was starting to say it before you'd rolled, but
sorry,
I rolled while I was talking.
That meager beavers.
I mean, the 15 was still the better one anyway.
He plays busy with his bag, so you mean.
Yeah. Have you seen this? Yes, it's a bit of moss on the tree.
And this. Let me have a look then. So what did we get? We got Ayame and Hatsu got dirty 20, I think. Yeah, dirty 20. So we'll go with that first. There are scuff marks from where Ayame hit the ground. That's the easiest one to find. It's a big place. Obviously, she fell. There's a lot of like dislodged things. It's not hard to see. Ahead of her are the scorch marks of the totems that were there. And there are footprints and marks through that turn from movements in dirt and leaves and become ashen footsteps, obviously, as Dr. Harrow had walked through, picking up the different hearts and components that Ayame had already talked about. Behind Ayame's scuff marks, like where she had fallen, are footprints for sure, heavy and deep in the ground. Big, like the size of your forearm big. like really, really big. So something big was standing there. They are footprints that look humanoid. They have toes and stuff, but they are large and wide. I'm grateful that Shaq isn't in chat when I said that. So, but there is these are very notable and noticeable. So something this big, this heavy, snuck up on Ayami. With that, I will go with Dash. What? Sorry, remind me what you were doing. I know what Adriana was doing. What were you doing?
I was helping with the tracking. I rolled a 15.
15. So the footprints are there and present, but they are not that far back. So if you try and track the footprints back, they were there for a while. It looks like there were heavy footprints that are deeper. Something was just standing here. They are, again, humanoid footprints. We're not talking like claws or sticks or anything. These are humanoid footprints. And Madriana, your investigation, you don't see anything that's standing out with a... Sorry, Dash got a 15. And Madriana also got a 15. So just for the podcast listeners. And so Dash and sorry, Madriana and you're going through this and you're trying to see if it's still standing. There's nothing still around here that you can visibly see. You can see the tracks that they're talking about, that they're looking at, that they're pointing at, but there's nothing here, especially of the size and magnitude of what this would be. Now, the tracks are somewhat weathered. Like there was a storm last night. We talked about that already. There was rain and stuff. We've talked about that before, and snow. And so things have changed in the environment. So the fact that they're still here, I really cannot express enough how deep these footprints are for feet. If you were to look for Hatsu's footprints, you wouldn't really see them. Look from Ayami's footprints, you wouldn't really see them. Like Eos, maybe a little bit. Like Dash, a little bit more. Slate, a little bit more. Westland probably just dragging his feet, so there's a whole trail behind him. But this is like deep into the mud and heavy. Like you would expect the ground to almost shake with something like this moving. So how did Ayami not know? That would be her question anyway.
Once I've checked that, I'm just gonna sit still, kind of grab Slate's arm, pull him down as well, and just sit and watch and wait.
I turn into Hatsu and start to pretend to meditate.
Nice.
I'm just glad you picked the quiet one.
Hatsu is very interested in the footprints, and he is quite shocked about the size and the weight. Regardlessly of that, he assumes that creature has obviously waited there and lurked and waited for the right moment to move. So as he sees it, it's not a created creature in the way that these stick figures were made. So he's leaning more into the thought that it might have been an individual that is quite professional with that. And since he knows the background of Dr. Harrow, he makes a mental mark to talk to Eos about public figures in the crisis response unit, and also to talk to Remington about individuals that he might know. But he's still thinking about if there's no magic going on. Like, for example, Remington would lead Boreal to his room or things like that, or even things that he saw Wesleyan doing. He still tries to find a path that creature might have taken to reach to that point. Because even if there is from mud from rain and everything, a creature that size and weight might leave still little dents here and there on the otherwise linear kind of looking ground in the woods. And he's quite familiar with these kind of things, so
Okay, so
he
you're
tries.
trying to look for like something familiar here, but what are you trying to do? Track it? To trying to see what it is? To try and...
He tries to estimate where that creature came from, but in also with consideration that he now knows how heavy that creature approximately must be and how big the footprints are. So kind of he now knows more what to look for, if that makes sense. He's not looking for a tree creature. He's looking for something else that is humanoid and a huge size, whatever. He might also look up in the trees if their branches are just like broken away or something, you know.
I'd like to do
Because of
something
the
as well that
size.
might feed into that if you want to kind of combine the roles or something. I want to ask first of all, from what I can make out with the size of the footprints and kind of the weight of it, would I have a rough estimation of, if we assume it's a human that fits those feet, where the head would be? Would I be able to kind of gauge that Pythagoras theorem kind of situation, you know?
It wasn't Dash asking. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean... if we're talking about, like, realistically speaking, you stand up against this... how do I want to do this? I want to check.
I give
gonna
you straight
give
advantages
you-
maybe to...
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna...
so-
Well, that's not his strong suit, so let's go with just investigation, so you have something you can add to it. Oh, you're not even proficient in investigation, so you get nothing. I said good day. Go with investigation anyway for me. I'm going to let you
There
have
would be a
advantage
follow-up
on
to
this.
this as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you have advantage on this because it's a good question, and I understand what you're trying to do. I just need a roll from you, but I'm not trying to like belay the information necessarily that I'm giving you.
15.
15. So you stand leg width apart, trying to put your feet in line with the 2 feet that would be there, right? You can barely do it. So like stretching your legs like that is uncomfortable and unpleasant for you, but it's normal for this. This creature would be at least twice the size of you, if not more. The feet are massive, so it would suggest more. You have seen things in this school like Minotaur and stuff like that. It's nothing like that. It is something much bigger. So like this is a big thing, whatever this is.
Cool. And the next thing I'll do, which will kind of feed into what Hatsu is doing, is I'm going to take out my dagger and on my armor give it a good polish and try to catch the reflection of the moon and direct it to where I could estimate roughly where eyes would be on a creature this big, and just kind of do a slow scan to see if I get kind of a reaction or a blink from something.
Okay. I'm gonna get you to do. That's a really hard check. I'm just gonna let it go. You don't need to do a check. You're just doing a thing. That's good. Hatsu, sorry, bring me back to you. What was it you were trying to do there? I'm sorry, my brain is mush today.
Yeah, he was trying to find a direction where that creature might have come from. He tries to figure it out if that creature came in with magic, like Boreal would have entered his room, or if that creature was around and took position because it was told to hold that position, if that makes sense. So if it did walk there, there must be still some signs to figure out from which direction it came.
Okay. So Hatsu, I'm going to give you advantage because Ayami's there as well. She's going to help you. So if you're telling her what you're doing, then you get advantage on this roll. Dash, while you're doing this, there's just a whisper in your ear. What are you doing? Alyssa's behind you.
Oh. You see those massive footprints?
You know what they say about big feet? Giant socks.
Bigger socks, yes,
Yes.
exactly. Well, I have a rough estimation that the eyes of whatever creature would be at about that height, so just trying to see, and I'm still doing it as I'm talking to her, if I get any sort of reaction.
To understand correctly, what you're doing is you're shining a light at what could potentially be the owner of those feet in the hopes of blinding it?
In the hopes of seeing where the fuck it is, it snuck up on Ayami, and I don't want it to sneak up on us.
That again brings me back to you're trying to aggravate it.
I'm trying to see where it is.
She takes 2 steps back, but she watches. Yeah, you shine the moonlight up against the tree and stuff like that. There's no shimmer. There's nothing being hit in the eyes that you're aware of or that you can see. There's nothing that appears to be present in this specific space.
Cool. And I'll take a couple steps back next to Lissa.
She takes like 2 steps further back, but she can still hear you.
Stop running away from me!
Still my favorite clip. I didn't drive her away. Pushed her away. It's different. Sorry, Hatsu, did you do your roll there? You did you?
Which roll do you want?
Sorry, survival, you have advantage with
Survival.
Naomi helping you, and this is just to see if you can track where it came from.
Dirty 20 again.
Nice, dirty 20.
Dirty.
Dorsey. Yeah, with the dirty 20, you...
Halos?
Christy Moore? With the dirty 20, yeah, I mean, you can see that... Oh, it's really high. Okay. It hit Ayami from behind, but it didn't come from far behind her. It only took a couple of steps. It has been waiting here for what looks like a long time. Behind it are steps that are far more weathered than these ones. In the line of, it might have been standing around here for not just like an hour or two before, like we're talking probably a day or two
Like
before
days.
or more. Yeah, like this is a really unusual difference in footsteps. So this has been something patient and something that's been here a lot for a long time.
He's speaking out loud. Well, that creature must have been here for a good few days. What do you think, Ayame?
But why? She's like looking at the different footsteps.
I think there's 2 options. It's either a person that is also in the crisis response unit that was sent with Harrow to kind of protect her, and that person was told to observe this area like you would, like I would. We wouldn't stand around here, but we might sit in a tree. Now, from that there is 2 questions. First question is, why would somebody so confidently stand here to observe an area that is that big and assume that nobody would see it? And the second question is, why did nobody see it? The other thing is, maybe it is a creation of Dr. Harrow. That would mean it was installed here, because there's no other footprints or something else. Maybe it was something that was prepared before and was just activated here or something. Maybe it's another form of what we saw with the wigs, but way more humanoid. More like a human machine or something. And in that case, same question. Why did nobody saw it?
Well, it looks like these big feet are going to be a big problem. She takes off her shades. Yow! And then the Who starts playing. Yeah, no, she nods and smiles, and she's like, it's nice to know that I wasn't in the wrong, if that makes sense. I don't know. she's trying to basically say that she's not feeling as bad as she did. Like, she was set up for this. She was set up to fail. And so she feels a little bit less guilt about this.
It might also be a safety measure from Dr. Harrow that was visited from our group before, that she might felt the urgency to install a creature like that here for her own safety. I don't know. But it's odd that it was standing here for such a long time.
Can I ask a DM question? Just when I was doing the investigation, would the estimation of the size of this equate roughly to the Goliath that was at Decker? Or are we talking bigger again?
Bigger.
Oh,
But
fuck.
not by much. But yeah, be bigger than Ironclad, yeah.
Ironclad, that was it, thank you.
But in contrast to that, though, like in the comparison, Ironclad is, when he walks, you know it. Like there's doof, doof, doof. Like that's a big footstep. Like there's still something weird about the fact that this can get to Aomi without her knowing it's behind her. Even in the middle of a fight, you would hear something like that. Like Hatsu would be very aware. If he's in the middle of a sword fight, people are throwing shit at him and swinging, he's still aware what's behind him in a conscious way of listening and audible. This is someone who's trained to fight, and Aomi's much the same. She's been trained much the same. Still, for something to catch her off guard, even just of this size, is just bizarre.
It's got a part of my reasoning for that question in Dash's head. Like, he's seen something close to this size, but you'd fucking know it's there. Like, how? Oh.
Well, we can maybe go back to the others, and maybe they did find something that would give us a hint of if there's some stuff left behind that would be something akin to what we found at the trees or something.
Aomi turns to you and she just says, we need to find this if it's here. If it can do this to us, what it could do to an unsuspecting student who is not trained, to take a hit like this is scary.
But for clarification, there's no like footprints away from that place or something. Just nothing. It just disappeared. Interesting.
Dash,
As they move, he kind of stops for a second. He looks at Ayame, and he says, "Well, where did it go after it hit you? There was no footprints that led away from that place."
I don't remember.
And he thinks for a minute. What if the creature that we're looking for is not only one creature? What if it's an alteration of a creature? And he continues walking. Just a thought in his mind that either it might be an iteration of Dr. Harrow that somehow managed to transform herself into something bigger, or that thing got magically transferred to another place. That's like in his mind.
Is there any sign of Harrow's footprints, actually?
Through the ash and stuff, yeah, I had pointed that out earlier. So they are visible for sure, yeah. But Dash, while you're doing this and you're looking around for the footsteps, you hear the turning of pages, and Lissa has taken the from your pocket and is flicking through it.
Now's not a good time. Give that back.
It's always a good time.
Other things to worry about. Give it
I'll be
back.
honest, this is not what I expected. I expected, dear diary, they were mean to me today.
Shut up. Give it back.
She hesitates for a moment, and then she hands it to you, gives it back.
We can discuss that later.
Oh, we will.
How many pages did you see?
She just doesn't answer the question.
Later, keep an eye out for big fucking things. Shut up.
No risk of that here. It just kicks dirt. Is Eos alright? She seems quite not herself.
She's concerned about Westlin.
Is Westland alright?
He's dying. So no.
You're as blunt as a downtown dagger, but alright. Thank you for letting me know.
He seems weirdly okay with it. He has company out there with Madriana at the moment, and I'm sure we'll all rally around him soon.
You're sure? As in, you're waiting for everyone else to do it, or?
No, as in when everyone else stops fucking around with everything else.
At that point, Hatsu and Ayami are just standing beside you. Like, you turn and you just see them, like, right there beside you.
Speak of the devil, any ideas, you two? How does something that big sneak up on Ayame of all people?
Well, I just have to assure you I'm not a devil yet.
Yet?
Yet.
Atsu, I can never tell if you're serious or joking. Or both.
Well, I would explain it, but I would prefer to do that in the dorms, I guess.
Yes.
Have you been tested on condition?
Condition?
It seems like you have a hard time keeping your focus.
Yes, I've noted that as well. Ayami's like, yes. I
Wait,
have
do you mean
also
Dash or
noticed
Kian? Hold on a second.
Oh no, we missed our target.
That insight check was real deep.
Nat 20 hit the player.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Maybe he does need those blinkers from the.
What's the Brennan Lee Mulligan thing? You missed the character and you hit the player or something like that?
Yeah. There's a lot of distraction. I mean, I'm trying to... Did you figure anything out about those footsteps?
Figured out a lot, but we should meet with the others. Look for more details to further make sense of the things we found, I guess. Did you find anything with your redirectional light?
Nothing. I was scanning to see if there might be any eyes.
So you looked for eyes in the sky.
In the trees.
He looks at Lisa and he says, I don't understand how you did this for that long time. I'm impressed. And he bows like a little bit.
Oh, I'm mostly a lone wolf. I wouldn't really take him on the important missions, you know. Preservation.
But
Throw her
that you
dirty
tried
words.
shows that you have a good heart.
That's very kind of you, thank you. Your friend is very nice, Dash.
And they move on
Absolutely
to the
charming.
rest of the group.
I don't know how you got so
I was
lucky,
supposed to be
Dash.
the one with charisma. God damn it, Biz.
There's like a moment where Dash is just like watching Lissa and Lissa's watching Hatsu walk away.
It's that fucking meme,
The
innit?
meme, yeah. Get on.
As I haven't found much at this level, I'm going to communicate with Albie and I'm gonna essentially what Slate will see is that she'll turn into Slate, but then also cover her eyes because she understands now from Dash's reaction earlier.
To clarify, you're turning towards Slate. You're not turning into, because that's confusing in this campaign.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I was like,
I
wait,
can
did you
morph
take
as well.
changeling? I didn't think you could multi-race.
It's a wild campaign, man. Crazy shit happened.
Okay, I turn towards Slate and I cover my eyes because I've realised now from what Dash's reaction was earlier that there's a physical change to her as well. Just be a dear and tell me if something's coming. And then I'm going to look through Albie's eyes and see if I can see anything from above, because from the description that Ayami gave us before about how big it was,
Yeah.
I want to see if it's possible to see anything higher up.
Yeah, so I'll get you to make a direct investigation check. You don't get advantage with the bird. It doesn't have that kind of increase, but it does have some
Can I
cool
argue
features
for
though that I'm
perception with
excited
it?
for you to see. Perception.
Because he's looking rather than...
Yeah, I'll give you active perception. You can have investigation and perception on this, sure.
So Albie rolled a 13.
A 13. Well, it doesn't take much to see. There are... yeah, there are a few entities walking towards you. Oh, damn. Thank you for the raid, guys. Really appreciate it. Dutch Dungeons. Oh, you guys are back. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. That's awesome. Those emotes are sick. So you see several entities walking towards you from the outline of the forest. One would be walking towards where Eos and Westland are, and two would be walking towards where the rest of you are sort of convened.
Okay, and I recognize all of these. There's no one I don't recognize.
You don't recognize the three entities walking towards you. No, I don't think you've seen them before, or if you have, you've seen them once or twice in passing.
Oh, so it's not this group. Okay.
There's three new entities walking towards you guys, and they are they're walking towards you with gusto speed.
Remind me again.
Three entities. They look quite similar, the same.
No, the Gusto. Sorry, who Gusto was?
Oh no, sorry. Like as in with Moxie,
Oh,
with like the
sorry.
emotional
Okay,
Gusto. not some guy named
I
Gusto.
was like,
Oh, hi,
that's
Gusto.
like,
I should
that's
make
the
a
thing, I was
character
like-
called Gusto.
yeah, he's just a fucking monk that can run 300 fucking feet per second.
Oh, you don't want Gusto and Dash in the same campaign.
We're trying to make Dash completely, you know.
Yeah, just like overshadow him slightly.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Waiting to see my next character. It's so evil.
Is it gonna be Gusto?
Your next character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be Gusto. Yeah.
It's just gonna be an Italian word for Dash.
A dash. I can't say that. Perfect. So yeah.
Or German, Z-Dash.
Zidash. Schnell.
Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on these three entities and see kind of what they might be up to then.
Oh, they're coming over with like authority.
Gusto.
With gusto. Gusto's just
All right.
walking beside him.
Right now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm hidden, and so Slate. Like, I've kept us quiet enough. So I'm going to stay where we are, and I'm still just going to keep watch on and see what they do and where they go.
They approach. Eos, they approach you first, one of them, anyway. Is
Eos is laying on her. She's laying like this on the grass.
is everything all right there?
Just thinking.
Are you safe?
Are we ever safe from life, from death?
Right. He looks over towards the other two who are now approaching you guys. I'll eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll say Slate because you haven't talked in a minute. They see you first. Hey, is everything all right here?
I just start prodding him, Adriana, just like harder and harder, just like prod. It's
Like a kid pulling on their mother's skirt. Mom, but they're talking
Stranger
to
danger!
someone.
Stranger danger!
I without letting them know, I'll drop the warg in and then lift up and just like, can we help you?
Yeah, my name is Marcus Thorne. I am the new head of security here. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is okay.
So each version of this is the same guy. It's his duplicate thing, right?
Yep. You may have seen it once or twice in passing in hallways and stuff like that, but now it's full effect, yeah.
Yes, an elaborate game of hide and seek, which unfortunately you're kind of disrupting right now.
We
We're
have
all
a
good, though.
curfew in effect to make sure that all the students are okay in these difficult times for the school.
Oh yes, of course, I understand, but if you were to ask Remington, I'm sure he'd tell you how I actually stay in a place in the woods with my friend Weslin, and these are my guests. So I think we're okay.
Bear with. He turns around, and with that, he sort of moves. He's still standing there, but it doesn't quite look the same. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like a switch happens again. Very good. If you need anything, call out. They all start to walk away.
Of course. Thank you, and good evening.
As they're walking away,
Right.
as they're walking away, if you're paying attention, two of them disappear. One of them continues walking.
Is it like a fade out, or is it like a meld in?
Fade out.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
Would Hatsu have seen them on the way back?
Sure, I would say you guys are pretty close together.
He would actually shout. He would go a little louder. Excuse me, sir.
He stops and he turns. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
What is it?
Since we, the installed team, aid to help investigate in certain scenarios that happened in school, we investigated the potential creature that attacked my fellow Ayame here. Is there any creature of this size, this weight, fill in the needed size and weight, that you are aware of that operates in these lands?
This size and weight. He looks at the footsteps that you pointed out. It's too big to be a minotaur. These are really large feet. He sort of like compares to his own boot, to your boot, to like all of that, and he's looking at it, and not in a sense of like, oh, well, it's bigger than your foot. That's not what he means, but more to see what the comparison is and how many feet it is. He's trying to work out the distance and the length and the measurements of this. I don't think I've ever seen anything, not with this foot shape and size.
Have you ever heard about a creature or person that is known that could have that measurements that operates in the crisis response unit?
Oh, absolutely not. They stick with men. Believe me, I've got a lot of first-hand experience with crew.
So that just leaves me with the assumption that Dr. Harrow did create something of that size that must have been able to stealthily, I repeat, stealthily knock off Ayama, which is very, very disturbing since she is trained since she was a kid to not be surprised, let's phrase it that way.
I think we should do our best to get out of here and investigate this in the morning. Let Remington know what's happening.
I agree.
You all start to walk, but he suddenly stops and gets lifted up clean off the ground.
There it is.
First, you see its hand as a translucent energy begins to dissipate around it. You see its biceps, triceps, its shoulders, its chest. As a very large, hulking creature appears, takes Marcus and throws it behind him. Marcus snaps into a tree and falls to the ground.
Oh, fuck, it's not another tree.
That's not a tree. It's definitely not a tree.
At this happens, since let's say Hatsu's spider sense is tickled. He's gonna push Ayame to his right, and he throws a smoke bomb on the floor with the attempt to hide.
As you
him
do
and
that, and you
her.
throw the smoke bomb on the ground, Ayami is already taking out her sword as this happens, but she goes into the smoke. Each of you begin drawing your weapons. You can all see this. I don't know if Westland, you can choose how you react to this. Obviously, you may be slightly different in this sense. But Lissa is
Have I arrived yet?
You're here, yeah. And Lissa is definitely taking out her daggers as well. As this creature looks down.
Where is my master?
Can I put my hands out and gesture to everyone like that?
You can. As he takes a position to charge towards you guys. And as you are making yourself the largest, he'll choose you as a target right after our little break here.
Great.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Great. Great. Great.
I mean, in fairness, one, it's
Great.
not a plant creature, and two, I did say that as long as it didn't attack one of us.
Great.
Technically hasn't attacked one of us yet.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it's
man,
a security guard. He's
That's not one of
technically
us.
one of us.
I can't wait Westland to try to convince it to just chill. I'm happy to see that.
One day, it'll happen.
I'm not
Great.
saying it's impossible. I'm just saying we'll find out after these short messages. No, we have no messages. We do have a boss fight though, which is fun. That's 2 boss fights because we can do the one during the break and then the one right after where Dash gets thrown against a tree. With this
Welcome
in
to
mind,
level 2, babies.
welcome to level 2. With this in mind, we will do our best to be back as quickly as possible. It'll be a 10-minute break. We'll come back at 20 past, so kind of 11-minute break. It'll be an easy boss. I will throw up the prediction now.
You mean the characters fight, not the one in chat, right? It's gonna be easy. Yeah. Ken.
Throwing up the prediction. Just the prediction's up. So you guys can bet to see if the group can beat an easy boss or not. And then when we get back, it'll be a not so easy boss. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back in a second. Enjoy our BRB. Hello, we are back. That was some fight you guys had with the boss there. We are back. We are back. Yeah, we find ourselves with Dash facing down the barrel of a gun, is what I was trying to say.
What's new?
What's new? We shall kick things off with Dash in a second. I'm going to give you a reaction, and the rest of you are going to get pulled in here now in just a second, and I'm going to get you to roll for initiative.
Initiative first, yeah?
Initiative first, and then, yeah, just...
Okay. I
should be able
clicked
to-
roll.
Should be able to roll now? Question mark? Yeah, it's rolling for you guys. That's cool. The only one who hasn't rolled yet is Slate. Oh, Slate just did. Cool.
Oh, sorry. I think
I
I
just
rolled
didn't roll into
twice.
chat. That's all.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Not to worry. Didn't roll into chat. I don't know why, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, so Dash, you first. How are you reacting to this?
So as it starts charging, just putting. First of all, I'm taking half a step back, putting my hands up, and go. Amelia sent us to check on you.
Oh shit. I would. Yeah. Okay. Make a deception check for me. I wasn't expecting that. Make a deception check for me.
That is a 19.
It won't.
I'll use my inspiration.
You don't have to.
Okay.
It's only for a failure, so you're fine.
Okay.
It'll stop charging for a moment, but I will go into initiative order at this point, and it's not currently attacking, charging, or doing anything. So in that vein, I would say, Hatsu, you're up first.
All right, so since he used the smoke bomb to distract.
That's right. Sorry, I'll put that down for you now.
And then
if you roll the smoke bomb from your sheet, it should actually let you place it.
Yeah, wait. I'm gonna roll it from the sheet. Smoke bombs or them. And then he tries to. Oh wait, inventory. Smoke. Oh, he used the smoke. Oh, nice.
Mhm.
And then he tries to sneak, kinda behind it, if that makes sense.
I would need a stealth check because it's facing towards you and Ayami and Hats and Dash and Lissa.
Yeah, I would argue he would like go through the smoke
He
left
hasn't moved
behind.
yet, so he's still technically there. He hasn't
them
charged because
two.
Dash stopped him.
Yep.
So his
he
vision
would
isn't
move
blurry.
here
Sure.
with a stealth check. 16.
Mhm.
And he would use. That was 30. I would say he would go like a little further. And then he cast True Strike on him, which doesn't harm him or anyway.
Okay. Just target him and cast True Strike then.
Yep. And he ends his turn there.
Cool. Slate, you're up.
I think I'm just gonna move away, and I'm quite confused as to what we're doing because we talked about killing it, fighting it, watching it, talking to it, all these different things. So I'm just moving out of the way and being undecided. So effectively, I am.
Right.
If I can hold an action.
Yeah, you can hold action, yeah.
No, actually, no. I'll just leave it at that. It's fine.
Okay. Adriana, you're up.
I'm gonna walk up to it. I see Westlin around us, right? Yeah.
Behind you, yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to it, hands up, kind of thing. We don't know, but we can get you the answer if you just stay calm. Please let us help. And I'm gonna ready my action to dodge.
Okay. So you, yeah, right. Dodge is for a whole round anyway. I don't think you have to ready it. Am I tripping?
Well, as in, like, I'm using the dodge.
You're
action.
using dodge. Okay.
Sorry, that's what I meant by
Cool.
yeah.
Got it. No worries. Yeah. Dodge is yeah, because it's for a full round as far as I know anyway. So you're good to use it.
Mhm.
Vislin.
Well, I was expecting a plant creature. This is not a plant creature.
If Westland uses violence here, I swear to God.
Never. Have I seen this kind of creature before? Any point in time?
Just as a reminder, or for anyone who just joined us in chat, what we're talking about is this fellow here.
This handsome chap.
It's one of Dash's socks come to life.
You've never, oh my god, you've never seen anything like this before, no?
Is there any lore, any stories that I may have heard of giant invisible people?
Make a history check.
I have seen a giant invisible person before. This guy does not look at all like the other giant invisible person that I have seen in this dream. But maybe they're related. I don't know. Has been a very strange dream. History. Roll the dice. Do the thing.
Not with the 5,
Yep.
unfortunately.
Yep.
That adds up, yeah.
Pretty good at the. Yep.
The older
well,
wrestling gets, the worse his rolls get.
Yeah, you know, brain's just going, man.
Related.
He's going to stand and observe this creature. See what it does.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's what it's going to do.
It's technically Lissa's turn, and she's gonna go. Dash, are we having a parlay with this thing?
I respond now or wait till my turn?
Typically, I would say wait for your turn, but I'll let you respond here because we're not actually in combat technically. We're on the verge of it.
Yes, but stand out of the way.
She doesn't do that.
Don't run, woman.
The creature's gonna look towards you and it'll vanish. There's a moment and it will go.
Where is Master?
It's Ayami's turn. She's going to flank the opposite side to Hatsu, but she's going to do it in a roundabout way. And she's going to wait for Hatsu's lead. Dash, you're up.
So it vanished.
Sure did.
There's no footprints or anything. It's just poof,
It
gone.
would be an active check for that, which would be your action, but you can do that if you wish.
No. She had to go to Palproth in a hurry. She was worried about you. My name is Dash. She sent me to check if you're okay.
I'll give you deception on this, but I'm going to give you advantage because of 2 reasons. One is you're partially including the truth, which is sick. But the other is that you've got a Madrona actually technically helping you in the back. She also attributed to your lie, so.
Oh, that was lucky.
It's a 25.
It's 25 as opposed to your nat 1 that you rolled, yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary. And it was the nat 1 was the first roll too, so that's even scarier.
Yeah.
25. It's gonna reappear in front of you.
Hello.
At that point, I'm gonna take us out of combat for a moment.
Sun's getting real low.
Let's see how low that sun gets.
Exactly.
At this point, I'm going to send Albie after Remington.
You know Master.
Yes, her name is Amelia Harrow. I befriended her in the school. She had to go in quite a rush to the crisis response unit. I don't know if she told you about them.
Yes.
Yes. And she was concerned she didn't want to leave you alone and thought it best if if I come to check on you, and I brought my friends here. Are you okay out here? She said you might get hungry.
No,
No.
I want to go home.
Where is home? I didn't get a long time to speak with her, but we're here to help you.
But you know, Master,
Yes.
why?
Why do I know her?
Why?
She was quite misunderstood like us, so we had a shared connection. And we just wanted to help.
Hmm.
People were afraid of her. And I gather people might be afraid of you. But
When can I return home?
we could help you return as soon as we know where home is.
Penzance.
Penzance, okay. Sure, we can get you there quite soon. Can't we, guys? Looks at...
We can talk to someone about getting you back home if you just bear with us. Someone should be coming along very shortly that will be able to answer your questions. What is your name?
She calls me Gorebound.
Gorebound?
That's a strong name. Have you been here long with Amelia?
Days.
Days.
I am bound to her. I must return.
We'll help you. We're more than happy to help you.
The longer I
Um,
stay away, the angrier I will be.
I understand. It shouldn't be too long. I just kind of look towards Amadriana, trying to almost telepathically.
I've sent
Yes.
word.
Wonderful. Then, yes, we'll be able to get you home very soon.
Gorebound,
Hmm.
have you hurt anyone else other than our friend?
I did not want to.
Why did you?
Orders.
To protect her stuff?
Hmm.
But nobody else?
She needed hearts.
For the trees?
Hmm.
So did you hurt people to get the hearts?
Not people.
Animals?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
And the sneaky one.
You hurt her?
Hmm.
Okay, but you were just following orders, correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Well, I don't think there'll be any need to hurt anyone else.
No?
No.
None at all.
Always need.
Well, none of
Oh.
us then.
Yeah, not at this moment. We'll get you home so you can be less angry.
Hmm. Then I cannot go home. Then I must return to Scorchwood.
You must go to Scorchwood after you go home?
If I am to remain calm, I must go directly to Scorchwood.
Would you prefer to go to Scorchwood?
No.
No.
Do you know how to swim?
No.
Would you like to learn?
I just want to go home.
Have I had any reconnection? Because I'm assuming it's more than 100 meters or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, have I had that
It'll be-
reconnection?
Yeah, it's a few minutes away from even by bird flight, and then it has to find Remington, and then it has to come back. Like, it's doing the job, but this has been 2 minutes or something, so it's going to be a couple more.
No, that's fine. I was just checking. Cool.
As this thing breathes, it's like a heavy breathing. You can hear its breath, its nostrils flaring. It doesn't take a massive insight to know that it's also beginning to get more and more agitated and frustrated as time moves forward.
What's it made of?
It looks like some kind of either... Okay, make an investigation check. You can have perception as well, I guess.
It'll be a 23 for investigation.
Cool. The way it works then is... Oh, I just caught up with the roll. The way it works then is the... Yeah, 23 is really high. It looks like the hide of what I would, in a human terms, consider to be a rhinoceros, but for you, I'm not sure what comparative creature you would have ever seen that looks like this, but in the same way you wouldn't necessarily know what a rhinoceros hide is until you see one. This is just what it is. But like, for you, Ryan, to understand what it is, it feels like a rhinoceros hide, like a very thick layer of skin.
I feel kind of called out right now.
Rhino got the rhino.
Yeah. So her equating this right now is more to akin of like a really thick boar skin or something like that, like something.
Yeah, probably even thicker than a boar. Like, it looks something that's almost impenetrable, but it's like, obviously it is. It's just, it's a very, very, like elephants. You know, if you've ever seen elephants and rhinos and stuff, like they have that very thick skin. It looks like if you punched it, it would do nothing except piss the thing off.
It's almost like a chitinous skin rather than chitinous bone. Sort of thing.
It's like thick and callous and rough.
Yeah.
I'll speak to it again. Bear with us, Corbound. We're trying to get a message to a friend of ours who can help get you home. I'll just kind of look around the casters of the group.
Do you use magic?
We have a bird friend that's going. In the meantime, if you'd like, I don't know if you like music or if you've ever had a toy to play with while we're waiting to keep yourself entertained.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm ad-libbing.
While the creature is distracted, Hatsu would focus Slate super hard. Would he have the impression that he would see him staring at him?
Slate, maybe.
Like he tries to get his attention, but in a way that he would make the monster aware of it, if that makes sense.
Right.
Based on where we're standing, you're definitely within my eye line.
Okay, I would say Slate notices at least. The monster's still talking to Dash, who's trying to confuse it with a toy, I think.
Okay, so he
Taking a bell out of my backpack.
he kind of goes.
For those that are listening on the podcast, he pointed to himself and did a moving mouth motion with his hand.
And then I pointed to my head.
Which is your head, sorry, yeah.
What he makes of it is up to him, I guess.
Blade gestures back like a two-handed weight symbol and like a one, like an idea, and just wait.
While that's going on, I'm taking a bell out of my backpack and offering it to it.
Dash, do you think this is a child?
I have no idea what it is. I don't know.
What is that?
It's a bell. It makes noise. It's like a little trinket, like a gift, if you would like it.
Yeah, I'll make a persuasion check. I'm not going to give you advantage or disadvantage. Because I'm in two minds of giving you both, so.
$16.
He opens his massive hand, bigger than your torso. Not really, but like it's huge. It's like, it really is massive. And as that happens, you place the bell in his hand, and it's like basically nothing in this giant creature's hand.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Or I got the inspiration. You know that scene in Harry Potter when Hermione has the thing for Hagrid's little brother?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where's the bell? That's
The
exactly
little
what I'm thinking
brother.
of. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just.
As it dingles away in his hand.
Let's remove that from my backpack.
Crushes it. She's gone. Yeah. The large creature is amused for the moment. I don't believe that worked.
Neither do I.
I'm gonna cast message to Hatsu, which all I have to do is point at him, and he should be able to hear my message, but it will allow him to reply in a whisper that only I can hear.
Yeah, you just cast him to chat there, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So when I do that, I think we're in turn order, because it won't allow me to cast it.
Oh, I'll turn off your really good.
Yeah.
If we get back in initiative at this point, I will get you to reroll.
So I'm just going to say to him, what? I have an idea. But it's more so starting the conversation so he can talk back. He can whisper back so I can hear him. Without anybody else hearing it.
We might have the same idea. Maybe we need another Dr. Harrow. And he's kind of...
Yeah. And then I'm just going to say to him, we do have the same idea. I'm just waiting for the right moment and to see what happens here first.
Before you do that, unless there's a different thing that I'm not thinking of, if you're talking about your feature, have a quick read of your feature. There's something in there that might hinder you. So unless you're using something other than your feature to do this, which could be possible, but your feature I don't believe would allow you to do this. I could be mixing it up, I could be confused, so do have a read, but I believe it says you can't copy the appearance of an identity of a person you know, just the type. So like, just the typing rather than the specific person. So you've seen a Minotaur, you can become a Minotaur, but you can't become a specific Minotaur. That's something I found out after the janitor thing. Like I didn't know beforehand.
It says I can determine the specifics, including coloration, hair length, sex, height,
after
weight.
that it says you can't duplicate the appearance of an individual you've never seen. Sorry, apologies.
Yes.
Well,
So,
sorry.
and I've definitely seen Harrow and know
You've
them
definitely seen
well.
Harrow. You're good.
And
You're
I
good.
also-
Apologies. Oh, you're absolutely good. Sorry.
Okay. I also have the actor feat, which would allow me to do it with advantage.
You're good.
etc.
Sorry, apologies. Yeah, no, you've never
Yeah, it's
seen.
all
Sorry,
good. All
apologies.
good. Thanks very much.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, perfect.
I'm glad you like that, Corbound. Did he actually crush it, or were you just memeing?
No, I was just memeing. He didn't crush it.
Okay. You can
Just because you marked
keep
it off
that.
your list, I was like,
Okay.
It's gone now. It's his bell forever.
yeah.
You may keep that. It's yours now.
Why do you give me a gift?
Just to be nice. There's not enough kindness in the world, and I thought it would be nice.
She is never kind.
Is she a good master?
No.
No. So, why do you look for her? Just a compulsion? Would you rather if she stayed away?
If she stays away, then others will get hurt.
I see. Would you prefer that bond to be broken?
I cannot answer.
I understand. And the connection you have to her, have you had it for a long time, or is that just days as well?
A long time. I have almost forgotten my other life.
Would you like to tell us anything about your other life? Speaking about it might help keep the memories.
He looks towards you and for a second gets angry. And then the bell rings in his hand and it like focuses him up.
I don't remember everything. Just Penzance. And my name, Adrian Voss.
Adrian Voss?
Yes. And then it's mostly pain.
I'm just going to cast a knowing look at Slate. That doesn't sound pleasant. Would you...
I was her ally. I worked with her. And this was my reward. Pain. Rage.
We're going to help you. You just need to let us. Our friend will be here, hopefully momentarily.
As if almost on cue. You do see him running through the woods here.
Here he is. Stay calm. He's going to help.
He gets angry because the creature with purple skin, that is his enemy, is running towards him. There's clearly a tension. Yes, you're behind it, don't worry. Behind him, I should say.
Just ring your bell for a second while I explain the situation, and I'm sure we can help. So I'm going to meet to Remington before he gets too close, just in case. I'm going to explain the situation. He seems to be confused. He's looking for Harrow. But obviously she's gone, I'm aware. And he's been left kind of without a reason to be here other than to get angry. However, I think she may have done the same to him as she possibly did to Slate. If you could free him of that mind block, it might actually do us some good. Do him some good, more importantly.
Well, you would need a cleric for that, and I'm afraid I would also worry about my companion over there against the tree. Is he alright?
Possibly not. We haven't been able to check yet.
It'll be fine.
Well, right.
All I'm saying is, this creature doesn't seem to be acting out of actual malicious intent, more so than
What is this creature?
He says he's from Penzance. His name, I can't fucking remember his name.
Corbound.
Yeah. It seems he's been under control. Doesn't remember his own real life. I think it's our duty to try and help him, to free him. whether that's a cleric or whether that's yourself. I think we owe it to him.
Very well. Do you wish to do this here? Do we know what we are unleashing?
I don't think he's in too much of a mood to really go with us, so if we can do it here, plus it's outside of the school, so if there was to be an issue, at least it can be contained a little. Oh, and just to note, he seems to have a problem with you, obviously, because you sent his master away.
How does it know?
Don't know. But just be wary is all I'm saying.
Had it not been paying attention to the bell, it may have reacted stronger if it had heard you say that.
Oh, I was saying this like in harsh tones to him, it wasn't.
Gorbound. Yeah, he's distracted at the moment, like with the bell, and kind of engaged with Dash in conversation and stuff like that. Ayami, still primed and ready to attack this thing, is not putting her blade down, but she's not attacking it either. She's holding position to see what happens here, but she's fully ready to strike. There's nothing but determination and frustration from her in this.
I would say Hatsu would give her like a sign to stay steady. As he realizes that Remington has arrived. He tries to sneakily check for the new guard teacher, if he's okay.
Yeah. The teacher is lying on the ground and seems to be kind of bleeding out quite heavily. It took a chunk of damage from that. It was thrown like dozens of feet, slammed into the tree. Yeah.
So with that scene, he would try to stabilize him and put like cloth that he has to kind of close the wounds and pressure the wounds.
Okay. I'll get you to medicine for me. I'll get you to medicine, yeah.
15.
Yep, that stabilizes, yeah.
So he kind of stays with him to guard him just in case shit hits the fan.
Okay. You stay with him. Ayami's still on guard. Lissa's with Dash, just questioning every move he makes. I would like to know a little bit about Eos and Westland at this point. You guys are in vicinity of this, but I'm not sure how you're acting, reacting, interacting, so that kind of thing. So I'd like to know a little bit about that.
Eos has just been watching, listening, literally sitting on the ground. She hasn't gotten up or anything. She's just watching.
Weston's studying the face of each individual who is involved in this interaction with this monster. Keeping an eye on where the weapons are, what it's doing, how it's reacting to them. Taking a very solid examination of the surroundings, the space, committing this place to memory, committing this moment to memory. Watching Remington and just searching for something that comes to alignment with this thing, this moment in his own mind, in his own memory. But nothing has quite come to light yet.
Yeah. And nothing quite does. This is a new memory, new dream for Westland. This is not something he has encountered before. The entire time that you're present and that you're here, it's worth noting that Chicken is just not leaving your side. Like, Chicken the Fox is with you, like borderline like underneath you, trying to keep you safe. Like when you teach the German Shepherds and stuff to go between the legs and to defend the people and stuff like that. Like that's kind of where we're at. Like Chicken is not ready to let anything happen to Westland, and isn't ready for anything other than defending you.
I will address him in the old tongue. There's nothing that you can do in this situation. Slate will look after you if he survives. If that moment comes, you must run.
Chicken just growls and looks towards the beast ahead.
You are very small, and that is very large.
Chicken growls 1% louder.
You also need to keep your voice down, Chicken.
All dogs end up.
Hmm.
I think they just made it wanted to fight more, yeah.
Yeah. I can hear Shadow outside Rory's door going, "Let me at him."
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm always on mute, boys?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Chicken is hearing you, but Chicken is also very distracted. This is...
And never listens anyway, so, like, you know.
Like the best dogs.
Yeah, it's a nice... I don't know, there's something for Westland there, I think, that's just... Like, you're sort of... Not saying goodbye, but you're preparing for that with Chicken, but Chicken is not preparing for that with you. Chicken is fighting with you until the bitter end, and that is that. Through whatever determination Westland may have for this, it's still not enough to stop Chicken from just having your back. It's just the way it is.
Yes, you hit point Breeze staying on the floor, you know, if he gets into that thing.
Yeah. Remington's deciding what to do here and how to do it, because this is definitely outside of his wheelhouse. Like, Remington's powerful, but like this is a whole other universe of what potential is available. You would need something of just phenomenal cosmic strength to do what you're asking to do. It's not a disagreement from Remington. It's just something that he needs to consider and figure out what's possible here. Whatever has happened, this isn't magic. This is an abomination. This is science. This is different. You're not healing a wound. You're not repairing a damage. You're not curing an ailment. This is done with purpose. Whether or not this is Gorbound's desire or whatever plays no part in this. Fixing that, it's more of a combat of science on science. Magic struggles in this area.
I mean, we have a teacher for anger management. Datsu knows that.
Gorbound in therapy, sitting on this tiny little couch, just like spilling over, just like, I hate the place. It's not good to me.
When I was 5, my mom told me no.
My mother was a tailor.
And
What's the villains counseling session in Wreck-It Ralph?
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Even Dracula's there. Look at the book.
Call it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Dracula.
Yeah.
It might be difficult, but give him his memories if you can. It might be enough to make him realize.
In my experience, sometimes memory brings a lot more pain. Are we sure that's the best option?
Am I overhearing this?
You two were pretty close, right? I think.
It depends where Remington and Amadrian are relative to myself and Gorbound.
I kind of ran up to him a little bit, so we'd probably be like 30 feet away-ish. I don't know what the best option is. I just know that he's a danger if he's let to go. But also I don't think he deserves anything bad. Like any of us. All it takes is one bad day. or one bad decision?
I'm in two minds. One is that if we were to unleash this wreckage upon the school, the damage could be insurmountable.
Mm-hmm.
However, the other side of it is I've tried to run the school by myself and I have made a lot of mistakes. And the best choices that I have made in recent years is to listen to the people around me and take the advice of those that are there.
If you could make him an ally, how powerful he could be for the school. Give him a home. Give him nurture. Give him purpose of his own choosing.
We don't exactly know what bounds this creature to her. Eos, I see your hand up.
Eos like to do two things. First off, thaumaturgy to turn her eyes black. And then she's going to cast a message to Rem. And I'm going to message you, well, whisper macro, what she's going to say to Rem.
Sure. Okay.
Cool. Boom.
I'm not of a mind that can work out what to do. That's why I called for you. I'm just giving you my opinion.
I would ask Gorbound, but I would argue that he's probably not in his senses. So
Strangely
instead,
enough, I think the best person to ask him right now is actually Dash.
Dash, in
I'm
my
listening.
shoes, what would you do? Bliss is behind you. Don't fuck this up.
In your shoes, but in my head,
Sure.
I want to save him.
And what does that mean to you? What is it exactly that you would do to save him? Some see death as a mercy. Some see sending him back to where he belongs as a mercy. Some would see sending him home as a mercy. But each option appears to have a consequence.
Orbound. We're going to send you home.
Which, oh,
We'll send you to Penzance.
I want to go home.
And if we learn more about this connection, maybe in time we can try to give you your free will back.
Very well, so I am to send him to Penzance? I must warn you that in
Yes.
this state he might get arrested or killed.
He wants to go home. It's the only bit of free will that we've been able to glean from him.
Very well.
You ready, Gorbound? Keep that bell.
Oh, 1 second. May I suggest something as well? He's kind of not talking. He's talking louder. I just want to make the mic clip.
Mm-hmm.
You see, like, Huts in the background. Before we do this, I think we should give the city of Penzance a short warning. And maybe our new friend can tell us about some relatives he might wants to be sent to. So it's a little bit more precise, not like he's in the middle of the city and people are confused.
You can hide yourself, can't you, Corband? Do that as much as possible. You have friends, family there?
I don't know. I did.
Then you'll find them again.
Stay hidden.
And don't hurt anyone. Unless they directly hurt you.
There are orders.
What are your orders?
Don't hurt anyone unless they hurt me. You
There are
are
your
friends
orders.
of Dr. Harrow. I can obey.
You can.
And if she finds me,
If she finds you, tell her to come talk to Dash.
I hope that if that day comes, she doesn't send me to talk to you. You have been good to me.
We'll see you soon. I'll just kind of gently close his, fucking hand over the bell and give Remington the nod.
Before Remington does anything, I'm going to
Kill him.
I just want to say sending stone. Do we want to give him one?
Do we have one?
I threw mine out, so I know I don't.
I feel like in case something goes wrong, let's not give him a direct line.
That's probably, a good idea. Traceable line.
Never know who's listening on the other side.
Always Dash.
I feel like our intent is noble, but I don't think this is going to work.
Opportunity cost, whatever way we go about it.
All you're doing is moving the problem to another location. You're giving him what he wants by sending him somewhere, but you don't know if he has anywhere to stay, anyone to help him, anything to eat. You don't know Penzance. You don't know how vast or desolate or... You don't know anything about it.
We know one thing more than when
turns-
we entered this. He wants to go there. And he will take our orders if we send him there.
Sure. And toddlers want to put their hand on the stove.
If I may. I feel like any path we walk here could result in pain, agony, suffering. There is no right answer in this. Excuse me, it's dusty out here. There is no right answer in this, but I would like to glance us towards Eos. I understand how you feel. And I understand why you do not wish to say it. But perhaps it is the right thing to do in this case. Make sure your voice is heard as well, Eos. I'm not forcing you.
My words. My place. He is a mirror of what people see me. The humans in the streets. The people who scream. Ones who tease. You're sending him to a place where he very possibly is not welcome. For that reason, a certain death would be better than Scorchwood. A certain death would be better than a battle of suffering or a cage animal. I do not agree with this outcome, but it is what it is.
Then may I ask, is that how you feel about your own path? Are you not grateful that others did not provide you a certain death? That you were granted an opportunity, and now look, you flourish like a flower. So, is it not better to give it a chance?
This is true, but I will not send him back to Penzance, which, based on what he said from what I watched and listened to, may have been where Adrian was welcome. But he seemed more akin to Scorchwood.
I'm hopeful he'll find Adrian again. Like a flower that's growing in the cracks of concrete, he might bloom in the hardship.
We will see, Dash. We will see.
Before anyone does anything else, I want to cast Minor Illusion on him, and I want to do like it's only a 5-foot cube I can do, so I want to do like a snow globe, if you get me, of Penzance, of the town in particular. The reason I say snow globe is because I'm making it small, so it's like silhouette of the town, but I want it to be snow, lots of snow, and I'm specifically watching for his reaction to the visage, a mixture of the cold and the town itself.
I kind of want to Penzance snow globe.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, you create this little illusion, this snow globe, this small, beautiful little thing. And in it, it has a beautiful little chime and a beautiful sound and a beautiful look to it and a beautiful image, something that only someone who personally understands this could create. If you look at Goraband as a physical entity, he could be described as a monster. He's massive, hulking creature, angry, violent, destructive. But in this moment within his eyes, there's no malice, there's no destruction, there's no frustration, there's no chaos, there's no rage, there's no burning. It's almost sadness. There's respect and appreciation. There's a human in there. Eyes of understanding, of longing, of missing, of wanting, of desire. Someone who sees something so familiar and close to their heart, but they haven't seen it in a long, long time. Something that you all can understand in a certain way. Slate, you more recently have gone through a similar experience. But each of you knows how this feels. This creature stares down at the snow globe and you realize that none of you are talking. It was an unexpected action by Slate. And definitely an unexpected reaction by Gorband. Gorband wants to go home. Remington's willing to send it home. You guys just have to decide what that means. You can follow the EOS ethos, and you can kill Gorband if that's what you so feel. You can follow the realm of sending it back to Scorchwood, guised as a gift to the crisis response unit and to Amelia Harrow. You can send it back to Penzance, not knowing what the risks are. You can unlock its mind here. Its potential could be unlocked right now in these woods, not knowing the risks. You could endanger the school. You can endanger countless lives by sending it back to Scorchwood. You can endanger countless lives by sending it to Penzance. It's all a risk. Killing it may not even be an option. You might just aggravate it by trying. You don't know. Standing in these woods right here, next to the ashen piles of your fallen enemies previous, it stares at this snow globe with such emotion. You'd swear there were tears. It misses Penzance. It wants to go home. Adrian wants to go home.
I'm going to suggest that we send him home, but with the instruction that he goes to the mayor of Penzance, who I know and have experience of, that we give him a package or a letter or something from us that explains his delicate situation, and that Penzance, how they live, you have to contribute to be part of the community, so that he goes in, that he'll be left alone, but he'll contribute, so they'll leave him alone, and that the mayor can put him somewhere out of the way where he can live, and if he has any issues, maybe they could contact us or something. So maybe we could send him with something. That's the best I've got. It's the best compromise. It's where he wants to go. It's relative safety. It's a chance that he can have more help than being alone. It's a chance he won't be ostracized or hunted or whatever straight away. He'll be somewhat accepted, and there's a chance that they might be able to help him, or we might be able to help him if we see him again.
You know Penzance quite well then, Slate?
I do.
Might I suggest another thing, Remington?
Sure, of course. This is an open forum. For another 6.5 minutes.
Would you... Maybe you would permit us a
Excursion
field trip. Maybe we take him, settle him in, and then head back.
You wish to go to Penzance?
I wish to help an unfortunate soul. If Slate here has a way that he can potentially do that, then I'm all for helping that.
I'm not entirely sure all of us landing into a place like Penzance, looking as, no offense intended, all of you do, is a wise
Let's
choice.
adjust back of your head.
Ow.
I think we all have our own different skill sets to help us blend in.
I will go with you to Penzance.
Sorry,
Go
Wes.
for the journey, Wes?
I will go.
Io stands up. She puts down the hood, takes down the scarf. She puts her hand on Gorbound's large hand grasping the snow globe and looks up at him. Adrian, what do you want?
There's a subtle moment of silence. It's just for a second before he speaks. But instead of the sound of the monster or the voice, You just hear a normal voice break through all of that and just simply says, home.
So be it.
We all going?
I would argue that if you're going to do this, you do this together. You will gain more experience on this journey than you have in your entire time in this school. But I'm afraid this has to be all or nothing. I can't let you go out and get hurt. Not in good conscience.
Is there room for a horse on the boat, Rem?
Who's taking the horse to France?
Who's the boat for?
I'm sure Remington has ways of getting us there rather quickly, don't you?
You got airships?
What's an airship? I don't know.
That's a real trigger word for me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'd rather walk. I would have to talk to some of the teachers. This is a rather large group.
How many can you send at once?
I am mighty, so I can send 8.
There's 8 of us. If you include
Coordinate here.
Dash's... Wait.
Lissa and Ayami?
Ah. They have their studies.
Well,
So do you.
may I suggest something?
Mm-hmm.
What if Ayame, Dash, Lisa, Slate, and I would be the first that go in through. Slate knows the area. So does Dash, as far as I understand.
Oh no, I've never
I think Lisa will be help if not. And Ayami and me, we will get around to sort out if it's safe, make it safe, and wait for the others. If that makes sense for you, Sensei.
So the least obvious looking go first.
Well, I think it's the same with your features. The secret lies there to pretend someone you're not.
That's not what
I would argue
Argus
that
can do
there
for you.
are, yeah, I would argue that there are a few other ways of making that happen with others in your group. And he runs his hand along the side of the. I think you still have your hood up. Did you take your hood down? Sorry, Eos?
She took it down to speak to Adrian. Yeah.
Okay, so just out of the side, but it doesn't touch you. It's just along the side, and her visage changes to a human version of herself. Her skin becomes milky. Her eyes become whatever color you want.
Green.
Green eyes. There you go. You look like a normal human woman. At the
Oh my god, it's Shishigo.
black hair and green tints in it.
Will be black hair. Good for yeah.
I know the characters you play, Rory. I'm in it.
He knows me well. Evil.
How long would that last, Remington?
This is just for a few moments, but that's just using her potential, not mine.
Ew.
You get used to it.
Ew.
This is
One
like
thing
you. She looks way
One thing
cooler
I will
before.
say. One thing I will say is dress warm. You'll need it.
Oh shit! Penzance is in the snow.
Oh,
I'll have to go steal a jacket.
I have to wear socks.
Wear a shirt.
I can send you in 2 groups, of course. I can send you in 1. I can send you as a unit and send Gorbound soon after. The choice is yours.
2 groups. Dash, Hatsu, Slate, and Eos.
Very well. Would you
Sounds
like to
good
be
to me.
placed in the village or nearby?
Maybe just nearby so we don't appear in a crowd of people.
Outskirts, we can make our way in.
Is there tea?
If not, I'm sure you can make some. It's not complicated.
We can pick some lavender or peppermint nearby. We'll make our
The
own.
snow?
I was about to say, you
I
want to do
don't know
that
how it
now?
works.
How long do you need to prepare?
We always prepared, Sensei.
And how long do you want between Group 1 and Group 2?
10 minutes.
Very good. Then I would suggest that Group 1 stand over here, and Group 2 stand over here.
Alright, Corebound. Adrian. We're coming with you. I'm excited. Field trip.
And as if pushed by those words, Dash's excitement is waylaid by the unbearably bone-chilling cold and snowstorm that he is sent into for the first time in his life. Not in Palperoth anymore, son.
What the fuck is this?
It would be the equivalent of about minus 15 at the moment. Celsius. Some of you have got to walk into town pretty quickly and get the snowball rolling. But in the meantime, we will end our session there.
No.
We will pick up from there next week. If I understand correctly, Richard, you're not with us next week, right?
Maybe. I don't know yet.
Okay.
The guy we need is a guide. God damn it.
If you're,
Just like
I'll have a conversation with you about it afterwards anyway. And if you're able for even the first part, that'll be dope just for this, because this would be the second time in a campaign that I've sent the character somewhere and you missed that session where you go home. Like that would be the second time. But I'm
Third
not.
time. You missed
I'm
Bear
not
Town
gonna.
twice.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You missed it twice. That's right.
yeah, Beartown
Um,
twice.
So this would be the third time in a campaign, which
It's tradition.
it's tradition. Yeah, I don't want to break tradition either. So, thank you guys so much for joining us today, for the gifted subs and the everything, the follows, and it was popping. Chat was you guys
And
were
a
hopping.
raid.
Yeah.
We got raided. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much, and thanks for sticking around. Our numbers have been pretty high today, so appreciate it. No, it's been dope. It's been a crazy stream. I've been watching chat as well, and it's hard to focus sometimes because I'm like, oh, they're talking to me, and they're talking to me, and I'm like looking at chat, and like all this fancy stuff is happening, so I need to pull myself back in.
We give Nessie a special shout out just because we love you, Nessie.
Thank you so much, Nessie. Yeah, our mod donated so many subs and stuff today. It was super nice. So make sure you go check out Nessie as well. If one of the mods here or someone wants to shout out Nessie for me, that'd be dope.
I love, by the way, that Amagiana and Slate were on the same path there, just like,
Yeah,
let's go.
we'll have a conversation about that in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
'Cause I really want to do this. There'll be no boss fight in the interim of this because it's going to be a quick break. We're going to take, what time is it? 35, so we'll be back at 40. So we'll take
Nice.
5 minutes. For those of you watching on YouTube or listening to the podcasts, thank you so much for joining us. We love you so much. There will be a post show up on YouTube specifically. Feel free to join us and check it out.
Smash that like button.
Smash the like and or subscribe button. We appreciate it. And for those of you who are here with us on Twitch, we will see you shortly. And for those of you who watched the post show, we will see you shortly as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you follow the boys on the various socials, and we will be back in like 4 minutes. See you shortly.
Nice.
Come on.